Hello everybody, welcome back. I am the Exam Mastery host, your virtual guide to cybersecurity and the CompTIA CySA Plus journey. Whether you are prepping for the certification or are just curious about defending the digital world, you are in the right place. Every week we break down complex security topics into simple, actionable insights to help you grow as a cybersecurity analyst. Let's build your skills, boost your confidence, and stay ahead of threats together. If you find value here, consider subscribing and sharing your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about debugger usage for the CySA Plus. The domain is 2.2 for the GDB and Immunity Debugger. We're going to be focusing on GDB and Immunity Debugger as part of the CySA domain, which is 2.2, right? Web application testing. So, for example, if you go to these objectives right here, right? Domain 2.2 has what we've been learning about GNU Debugger, which is GDB. So what is GNU? GNU is something in Linux that is all of your tools like LS, stuff like that. So if we go on here, GNU, the GNU project, right? This is what GNU is, right? It's free software, right? And we can run any of the programs and stuff as we wish for free. And what is it? Basically, it is a collection of tools, right? Free software, like 387 packages, and Bash reference manual we can look at. But it is GNU debugging, right? So GNU debug is GDB, right? GNU debugger. So as we can see in 2.2, right? We have GNU debugger, which we're learning about. And I'm pretty sure we went over everything except Angry IP Scanner and Multi-Go. I don't know about ARC, if we've went over that yet. But I know we've at least covered most of these ones right here. I know we've covered all these, right? So now we're on GNU debugger. And Immunity Debugger. So what is a debugger, right? A debugger is a tool that allows cybersecurity analysts and developers to inspect, control, and analyze a program's execution. Debuggers let you pause a program, step through its code, examine memory, and manipulate variables to understand how it works or why it fails. In context of the CySA Plus, debuggers are used to identify vulnerabilities, reverse engineer software, and develop exploits for testing purposes. For web application testing, debuggers help analyze server-side binaries, client-side scripts, or compiled components that interact with web apps, uncovering issues like buffer overflows or memory corruption. Why do debuggers matter for the CySA Plus? In CySA Plus Domain 2.2, debuggers are critical for vulnerability analysis, identifying flaws in software, such as buffer overflows or improper input handling, exploit development, crafting proof of concept exploits to demonstrate vulnerabilities, ethically of course, right? Reverse engineering, understanding how web apps, components, APIs, plugins behave under the hood. So reverse engineering is basically, you know how engineering is basically, engineers always want to figure out how something works? Well, reverse engineering means you're trying to figure out how everything works in a certain thing. Whether it's an API, whether it's a certain software, whether it's an exe, a binary, or anything that has to do with computers. We have to reverse engineer and figure out how that stuff works under the hood, right? With incident response, we have analyzing malicious code or exploits, targeting web apps. But let's go back to reverse engineering. Why would you want to reverse engineering something? Why would you want to do that? Well, for example, you might want to figure out how a router or a switch works, but this is just one example. There's so many other things that you could reverse engineer. But for example, we have reverse engineering a router, right? Figuring out how that router works and if there's any vulnerabilities with that specific router, right? With GDB, we have GNU Debugger for Linux. This is like Linux stuff, right? Linux environments and Immunity Debugger for Windows. So I'm more of a Linux person, right? I want to learn Linux more than I want to learn Windows. But we do have to know both of them in security, right? Because both of them will come up. So GDB is a powerful open source debugger for Linux, macOS, and other Unix-like systems. It's widely used for debugging C and C++ and other compiled programs, including server-side components of web applications. C and C++ is still widely used to make software programs. Even though there's new tools coming out, people still use C and C++ to develop programs. What are the key features of GDB? Breakpoints, pause, execution at specific lines or functions. Memory inspection examines registers, stack, and memory contents. Step execution, step through code line by line or instruction by instruction. And scripting, automate tasks with GDB scripts. So that is the features, basically debugging code and going through line by line what everything does. Seeing what the registers do, the stack and the memory contents, what does stuff do when it's in memory? Stuff like that is what you can see, all those different details. For how to use it, compile with debug symbols. Compile your program with the -G flag to include debugging information. You launch GDB. So to launch a shell script, you would have to do that in Linux. The // and then the program name. The .sh, the bash script name, right? .sh. And you'd start that with GDB so that that specific shell program, which is .sh, would run through GDB. And you set breakpoints, which set a breakpoint at a function, break main or at line break von program.c. For example, line 25. For run program, we have start execution, run input, run test input, right? So you're running the program, you're starting the execution of the program, running that specific thing in the code, right? Inspect, state, check registers, info registers, view memory. And these are commands that you'd use to like see what that output's doing, that input is doing, right? And that's how you'd view the memory, right? Display 10 words at the stack pointer. Print variables, print variable name. And then we'd step through the code, step to the next step, step to the next instruction next. Analyze crashes. If the program crashes, use backtrace to see the call stack or info locals to check local variables. Use cases. Say you are analyzing a web server that has a C-based API that crashes on certain inputs. Use GDB to set a breakpoint in the input handling function. You step through the code and discover a buffer overflow where the input exceeds 128 bytes. This insight helps developers fix the vulnerability before attackers exploit it. So we used GNU Debugger to analyze the code, and we found a buffer overflow whenever it exceeds 128 bytes in memory. So, I mean, that would really help developers in fixing these vulnerabilities and just be overall more secure. Immunity Debugger, it's Windows-based, right? Key features of Immunity Debugger: graphical interface, Python integration, exploit development tools, plugin support. How to use Immunity Debugger: install Immunity Debugger, download from Immunity website, and install on Windows system. Load the program, open Immunity Debugger and load executable, or attach a running process. Set breakpoints, press F2 to set a breakpoint at the current instruction or right-click to set a specific address. So you set these breakpoints so you can get exactly what it's doing before that breakpoint happens, right? So you say you want to capture something specific, you'd set those breakpoints to capture that specific thing. That happens when that instruction happens. You'd run the program, press F9 to run or F5 to run until a breakpoint crashed. We have inspect state, right? Step through the code and analyze crashes. Use case: suppose you're testing a Windows-based web server plugin. You send a long input string and the plugin crashes. So the crash could be a sign of a buffer overflow, but you never know why it crashes, right? Using Immunity Debugger, you attach, so to actually figure out the root cause, we use Immunity Debugger, you attach to the process, set a breakpoint in the input parser, and identify a stack-based buffer overflow, overriding the EIP register. Use mana.py to craft a proof of concept exploit, demonstrating the issue to developers for patching. So, best practices for debugger usage: get permission to debug these systems, use safe environments, combine with other tools, document findings, practice in labs, learn assembly code, automate with scripts. So it's very important that you learn assembly code when you're messing with these certain C++ stuff and C programs, right? And basically any code, because a lot of it runs on assembly code, times 64 assembly, and times 86. We're more in like the 64-bit, right? Because a lot of stuff doesn't run on 32-bit anymore. More stuff runs on 64-bit architecture. So we automate with the scripts, right? We streamline with Python APIs. Imagine you're a cybersecurity analyst testing a web app server-side binary using GDP. You debug a Linux-based API and find a format string vulnerability, allowing memory leaks. On a Windows-based component, you used Immunity Debugger to identify buffer overflow in a plugin, enabling arbitrary code execution. You document these findings. Work with developers to patch the issues and retest to confirm fixes. Debuggers like GDP and Immunity help you uncover critical vulnerabilities. Why this matters for the CySA Plus. You need to understand how to use the debuggers like GDP and Immunity Debugger to analyze vulnerabilities. The role of debugging in web application, testing, and exploit and development. How to interpret debugger output to identify issues like buffer overflows. The connection between debugging and securing web app frameworks. So that is going to be it for GNU Debugger and Immunity Debugger. One is for Windows and one is for Linux. So you are going to commonly see both of them as you do your cyber analyst job, because not everybody's just going to adopt to Linux, right? But thank you everybody for watching. Please comment down below any questions, comments, or concerns, right? I really do like to read your comments. Thank you everybody for watching. Bye.